First up, we have Joel Pennington. Joel will be coming up here. Joel is an introvert, and since applying to speak at Ignite Guelph has discovered he fears public speaking more than swimming with sharks. Not that he has ever swam with a shark, but he's sure it's not as terrifying. He may be wearing a pair of brown pants tonight. Joel is an Aussie, and like most Aussies, got itchy feet at the age of 18 and set off to travel for 6 months. 6 months soon turned into 9 years, and he still can't get enough. He firmly believes traveling is the most liberating experience out there. He also finds it highly awkward writing about himself in the third person. Okay, you know how this goes? Is your mic on?
I don't know, you tell me. Is my mic on? Yes? Is my mic on? Okay, I'm good. Pretend everybody's naked. Right. Ghandi once said, once a year, go somewhere you have never been before. Looking at modern day travel, I don't think it's turned out the way he envisioned it. In Canada, over 90% of leisure travel booked are all-inclusive packages to the Caribbean and Latin America. When you book an all-inclusive under the impression that you're going somewhere new, it's a little bit like going to a new city to experience their McDonald's. What's worse, less than 10 out of every $100 of that package ends up in the destination's economy. This disproportional distribution of wealth perpetuates poverty. No wonder they don't want you to leave the resort. They don't want you to see what happens when a government sells off its greatest assets and leaves the local population fighting for the scraps in the slums. But I think there's something much more inspirational in economics that will inspire change, and that's simply the experience. The experience is walking along a beach with 0 footprints on it and stumbling upon a small little restaurant with the freshest fish you've ever had at the lowest prices you've ever seen. You'll be amazed what can happen when you go with the intention of engaging and supporting local communities. Would I have found the greatest street tacos in Mexico City without the help of my Mexican friend Patricia? 4 Spanish words and a lot of enthusiasm will get you a long way. The experience is watching the locals put all their bad luck into a coffin and march down the street singing and dancing with flaming torches. All the while drinking the best tequila and making the only 2 white people in town feel right at home. Pause. And there they are. The towns of Armatitten and Tequila might just be the best kept secrets in North America. And it turns out it's really easy to engage the local community when you're the first tourist in town in about 40 years. The experience is a sunset on a train in the middle of Siberia while you're eating raw fish and drinking vodka. Definitely a trip for those looking for solitude and the introverts among us. The stars at night were something I'll never forget. Unfortunately, so was the raw fish. The experience is my first snowball fight at the age of 21 at a Mongolian railway station, where the token Swede in our trip decides she doesn't want to be involved. And I get an email, a photo later, of my snowball in mid-flight about to hit her in the back of the head as she's posing for her photo. The experience is driving through Africa for 5 hours and wondering if all this talk of wild animals is true, and then having an elephant 10 meters from your car decide that you're a threat to its young and you need to be scared away. That can make the last 5 hours seem like 5 seconds. 5 seconds, however, can seem like 5 hours when you need to get out of that car in the safari park to pee. You don't question the existence of lions when you're standing midstream in a patch of waist-high grass with National Geographic images running through your head. The experience can be amplified when you go to a major sporting event or a festival. I love soccer and I love going to the World Cup to connect with people from all over the world. But buyer beware. Unfortunately, a lot of these events have been overtaken by commercialism. Take Munich's Oktoberfest, for example. Definitely overrun, way too many tourists, way too many ads. But just 2 hours up the highway in Stuttgart is Volksfest, which will have you singing and dancing in your Lederhosen or dirndl with the locals in absolutely no time at all. The experience gives you everything, though, no matter whether you like it or not. It forces you to open your eyes and sympathize with the people around us, no matter where they live or who they are. Pause. The experience will show you the other side of globalization. It'll show you what happens when we stop connecting with the people we do business with. Travel inspires travel will make things transparent and will will then deter exploitation. The greatest experience, though, is finding things you were not looking for. For me, it was while driving a bus in Croatia, I found the love of my life. But you better get moving, though, because if you really think there's only one true love, there's 7 billion options out there. So I'm not advocating for you to sell all your possessions and buy a one-way ticket. All these experiences can be attainable in shorter trips, often at the same price or less than your standard all-inclusive. G Adventures is a great example of a company inspired to change through travel experiences. They hire local guides, keep the groups small using public transportation and locally owned accommodation, not only giving the customer a genuine experience of that location, but also keeping around 55 of every $100 of that tour price flowing through to the destination's economy. I think this little welcome sign at a Guatemalan B&B that we stayed at says a lot. It says, "Welcome, my house is your house." No matter what language you speak, no matter where you come from, the color of your skin, essentially we're all the same, and we have no reason to fear one another. And I think Mark Twain says it best. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. Thank you.